Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Bria. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about my May-June budget, what I'm going to do differently, and maybe some things that could help you rewrite yourself when you've gone over budget, or just need a little help, like getting a little reset in terms of like what you did from the last month, essentially. Because I didn't do great. I did okay. I could do better. Let's talk about it. So, for those of you who don't know, I use the Asia Dang Master Planner. I have all these amazing stickers on here. I've just been collecting them and putting them on my planner just to kind of make it a little bit more exciting for me and personal. Of course, there's a lot of Twilight themed stickers because I love Twilight and I will be a Twihard till the day I die. It's really bad. But for the month of May, I had a really low expectation in terms of like how much money I was going to make. So month of May, I predicted my income to be about $1,440. Ultimately, it ended up being $2,120.65. The reason why my prediction was so low is because I am a contract worker and a freelancer. So the amount that I work is more so depending on me, and just based off of the trends of my paycheck, I was only making about like $1,400 a month, which isn't a lot. But I did start working a lot more, and I also got my tax return in the month of May, as well as I made an artwork sale in the month of May. So I did have some extra income coming in that month, and so it was pretty good. Like, I wasn't too mad about it. Something that I noticed though was that my spending was quite off, which we'll talk about in a second. As I said, my monthly income ended up being $2,120.65. My monthly expenses were $557.63, and then other expenses was $881.84, and then my savings, I did $208.17. So I like the way that this planner is laid out, because it does leave a space to kind of say like, this is how much you actually put into your savings this month, because it kind of gives me some room to be like, okay, like I know how much money I put into my savings, and so when it comes to the money left over, it is purely like money that's just left over. So I did okay in terms of having money left over, and in terms of savings. I would want to do a little bit better on savings, and I would want to do a little bit better on the money left over. So in terms of money left over, I had $109.23 left over. I had a lot of unexpected expenses in the month of May. I had to go to primary care. I got tonsillitis really bad. It was awful. And so that was maybe about $60. And then, I have the exact numbers. I should look, but I'm not. And so there's that expense, and then I also had to go to the dentist, which was another expense, but then I also had a late fee with the dentist that I had to pay. So that was, I think in total that was like an extra like $260 something of extra unexpected expenses, but they were necessary. Eventually, what this taught me though is that I'm going to need to start doing sinking funds. I don't want to do like, so my thing is like, I don't want to completely go all Dave Ramsey on it, because like I think there's too many categories with Dave Ramsey sometimes. Like I think it's just too much, and also it doesn't quite work with me the way that the money is spread out, and just like how I process money, it doesn't quite work. But I do think there is some value in creating a sinking fund for medical expenses, because those were things that I just didn't expect and I didn't think about. I usually plan out for like my therapy and my psychiatry appointments. However, I didn't plan out for things like the dentist and primary care visits, and I'm gonna have to get another pap smear at some point, and because like my last pap smear was irregular. So like I didn't really think about those things in my budget, and I'm gonna have to think about it now. So one thing that I'm going to do differently is I'm going to start thinking about how much my co-pays are, and I'm going to get those things done. I'm gonna make sure I get those things done too, because next year I am off my parents' insurance, and I have yet to find a job that I am satisfied with that'll give me good benefits and good pay. So hopefully, fingers crossed about that one. But I also, in the month of May, I also didn't contribute anything towards my debt. So I would like that to be a little bit different. I have a few different financial opportunities coming up this this month, or more so like one financial opportunity. I'm doing a summer camp for digital photography, and that's gonna be really cool. I'm really excited about it. I love teaching photography. And so that'll be $800 for the week. However, I do need to make sure that I solidly have all the students that I need. Right now I have 6. I think I can still teach the class at 6 students, but I just need 2 more. I need 2 more to just solidly be like, this is perfect. But we still have some time. I feel like if I do some push in terms of like things like that, you know, we'll have some time. So that was basically the month of May. So one thing that I noticed about the month of May was, as I said before, like how I didn't have money set aside for, you know, things like medical and things like that. But I also noticed that I often went over budget during the week. So because I get paid weekly, I budget weekly. It's easier for me to budget weekly. Also, the planner is laid out like this. But it's easier for me to budget weekly because I get paid weekly. And so for the month of May, I gave myself $209 based off of my expenses to spend each week. And $209 each week should have been fine, but I found myself constantly going over that amount of money that I was budgeting out. And rather than correcting myself, being like, okay, so I spent an extra like $150, rather than correcting myself and then saying that I can only spend X amount for the following weeks, I just kept on giving myself the same $209 budget. So what I did differently for June, and I think I had an incident already where I had to do it. So for June, my weekly budget based off of the expenses that I planned out, it's a little higher because I am going to go on a trip to Cali. So I was just factoring in things like the rental car and my Disneyland ticket. I was like factoring those things in order to figure out like how much I could spend within that. So $325.37 was my budget. I ended up going over that by $231.48. And so in order to correct that, what I did, I took that $556.85, that was the total of my expenses, and then I subtracted it from the budget that I had. So I budgeted out $1,301.51 for this month. And I subtracted $556.85 from that. And so that gave me $744.66. And I divided that by 3 to get a new adjusted budget of how much I could spend. And so you can see here, I haven't kept up on this week. I still need to like kind of sit down and go through the week and see where I'm at for this week. But basically, yeah, I just like readjusted it right then and there. So that's the first thing I did. So now I'm aware that if I go over budget, I need to readjust the budget. Number 1. Number 2, one thing that I found was a huge difference for me in terms of the month of June, because I did go over budget my first week in the month of June, like I said, but I noticed that the following week after, I did a lot better because I had an event that I paid for a long time ago. I had an event that I paid for that I got to do. So I did a pottery class. It was $50. I think I paid for it in the month of May, maybe at the beginning or middle. And it's this 3-hour class at this cute like pottery coffee place. And so I did a class there. And doing that class was so much fun. 3 hours. I met some amazing people. I learned how to throw on a pottery wheel, and it inspired me in a way, and it made me book a photography shoot. So I have, in a long time, like I haven't done photography in a long time. So now I'm going to be photographing a model soon. I set that up, and then it made me start drawing, and so I was doing those activities, and doing something like that really inspired me. So I also noticed that I just stopped doing a lot of spending because like I had an event to look forward to. So I do want to add in my budget just something like that, because noticeably when I'm doing something outside of the house, I spend less money. And it's probably because I'm not scrolling on TikTok for hours and hours being like, ooh, look at this girl's outfit, or ooh, look at that, oh, I should buy that, I should get into that type thing. So I'm actually doing something, I'm actually being out and about, so that's really important. Third thing that I noticed about me and budgeting is the fact that things got better for me once I started to get better at saying no to certain things. So once I was like, no, I'm not going to do that for this person, no, I'm not going to do this for this person. And again, like, if you've watched my first video about budgeting, if you watch my debt story, you'll see that like emotion and self-esteem is very much tied to my financial or my ability to be financially stable. So yeah, once I got better at being like no and stuff like that, and kind of taking more time to myself, I was emotionally spending a lot less, because like the amount of stress that I was under was a lot less. And fourth thing that I noticed, when I got more sleep in a week, I spent less. So again, that emotional spending thing. So yes, that is basically it for the most part. And I think the last change that I'm going to make is like any spending money is going to come out in cash. So today me and my sister went to the ATM, and she got her like her $100 in cash for her spending money, and I got my $80 in cash for my spending money. And I'm good with cash. The thing that I learned about me is that I am good with cash. Like, again, and also because, okay, so technically this money, cash, is also accounted for me. It's kind of like taxes for me. Like when you get paid in cash, it technically doesn't count as spending. But this is a big but, okay? But I already write out the budget, you know what I'm saying? So it's like my check gets broken down into that 50 30 20 rule, and so the bills, which is like my subscriptions, expenditures, that comes out of that 50%, my 30 is already accounted for. So I already account for 30%. So that means that like the money that I'm spending in like the miscellaneous category that I keep on going over should fall within that 30%, but it doesn't. It currently does not, because the 30% isn't out in cash. You see what I'm saying? So like once I get it out in cash, I will still be falling within that 30% of like only spending 30% of my income. Even though that's kind of a lot. Like I can't, like, even though I've been spending over, there's no reason, I need to brush my hair. There's no reason that I should be spending 30% of my income on just random expenditures. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically me. That's what my plan is going forward. At the end of June, I'll be able to tell you if it worked out better having that money in cash. I feel like it will. And just kind of keeping up. I think what I might do, I might sign up for like a dance class. I always want to do ballroom dancing, so I might sign up for a ballroom dancing class, and I might do another pottery class. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.